In terms of disagreeing, the Maharaj, for like free thinking, how should Vaishnavas disagree, and how should we go about that? Because I can sometimes see some senior devotees who I really look up to, whether it's online, it seems like it makes me uncomfortable to hear criticism because I've been trained to not criticize. And so how should we approach it with respect and care while being in the Vaishnava mood? Is there room for that? I'm never quite sure where to go, and I don't know where to ask it.
I mean, you're right that we have to have Vaishnava ways of doing things, and that's not necessarily a cultural thing that we've imbibed, especially with internet, social media. It's very easy to communicate, to express yourself, and your opponent is not face to face. Who knows, other part of the world. So one can be quite forward or brave like that. But we should be respectful. We address issues necessarily rather than individuals. And I don't know, I'm sort of learning. I saw how, for instance, Srila Prabhupada told us that, he can criticize his godbrothers, but we shouldn't. On the other hand, Prabhupada, Chaitanya Charitamrita is very, very critical, and it's there forever. So, Srila Prabhupada's, not how much we should be repeating that or just referring to Srila Prabhupada's own statement. It's a delicate balance, especially depending on how volatile an issue may be. And sometimes people feel very, very strongly about something. Just like, before I was mentioning about this Prabhu, and then I said that it was silly. Well, actually, that's isn't the right thing. It's immediately a pejorative thing to say. It's just, what did Srila Prabhupada say? What's the Shastra? It speaks for itself, but we shouldn't pass necessarily judgment on others, especially on issues which aren't necessarily tattva or philosophy, which is sort of black and white. But but many things that sometimes Prabhupada would, change his opinion. He would say this thing, and he would say that thing. So obviously Prabhupada did say this thing. For instance, another although it's not necessarily so controversial, and some members of the GBC are trying to sort of grasp is the origin of the jiva. So we have a GBC resolution that says that no devotee can talk about this, that cannot talk about the topic, that there's another alternative to coming from the spiritual world, and that is that we didn't come from the spiritual world. So Srila Prabhupada said both things. It's in his books. He said no one falls from the spiritual world. And then same time Prabhupada said that, we were all originally with Krishna. So when Prabhupada says both things, then who's going to take a stand on one particular issue? You have to be very, very clear. But especially like that banning, well, you can't give this other opinion that maybe we didn't come from the spiritual world. Anyway, I digressed a little, but yes, that respect is sort of the Vaishnava way of how we deal with things, issues, and even further when, devotees either behave or misbehave, how we express ourselves. So there's a lot in terms of our culture that's sort of missing because, Srila Prabhupada was with us for so many years. He taught us certain basic things, but in terms of this sadachar, of how pure devotees actually conduct themselves and behave, that we had, Prabhupada had hoped that, his godbrothers or would be able to do that, or disciples of his godbrothers, but it rarely worked out for different reasons. One is that we had difficulty knowing how to disagree with them. It became very, we attacked even institutionally many other Vaishnavas just because we sort of disagreed with the way they thought or the way they talked. I don't know, is that fair enough?